What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel.
Welcome back, guys.
I am Corey.
And I'm Keisha.
And we are His and Herbs. And we're just some small time, soon to be big time gardeners growing food in the high desert of Southern California. And so today, guys, what we're doing is we're going to grow some potatoes. We have an ambitious goal this year to grow over 100 pounds of potatoes. Right now, we don't even know. We eat a lot of potatoes, but we don't eat a lot of potatoes. And so I don't even know how much we eat in a year to even plant. Like 100 pounds definitely ain't gonna be enough.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna be enough.
It's not gonna be enough.
It's a good place to start.
Yeah. So actually, I think our goal is gonna actually be more like 200 pounds. So it's gonna be 100 pounds. We're gonna try this twice. We're gonna start early enough to hopefully be able to do a second planting and a second harvest. So 100 pounds the first go round, and then 100 pounds the second go round, at least. So that's the goal. We'll see what happens. You know, even if we miss it, we'll be close to that. Yeah, we'll be close to that. So let's show you guys what we got going on. All right, for starters, we're going to be growing these potatoes in these containers. I don't even know how big these containers are in gallons, wise. However, we're going to grow in them, and I'm going to talk to you about these containers here in a second, in a minute. But this is what we're starting with. We have way more potatoes than this, but in order for us to know how much in weight that we're planting, I'm going to have to weigh this out, right? And you guys are going to see it. So I have my empty bucket, which I'm going to use to get the weight of the bucket, and then I'm going to weigh the bucket with potatoes in it, and then we obviously subtract the difference, and then that's going to be the amount in terms of weight of the potatoes that we're planting. Now I know that we have these. I have this egg carton in there, but that thing is so light, it's not going to make that much of a difference. It's not going to make any difference in the weight of that bucket. So I'm not even worried about. I'm not even going to take those out. I'm going to weigh that just how you see it. And we do have a variety of potatoes. We have some yellow potatoes right here. We have some red ones back there, and we have some russet potatoes right there. All of these are store-bought. They were cleaned, and they were put under the grow light so they can start to chit and get those nice dark chits that you see right there.
And so the green is okay?
Yeah, they're fine, and you can see that they are starting to green a little bit. That's fine. They're not good for eating, but they are good for seed potatoes. So we're good there. So let's go ahead and get these things weighed out. So here we have our handy dandy scale. Let's get this thing going. There we go. Weigh the empty bucket first. And it's like that thing doesn't even register. It's so light. So I guess we can say that whatever we put up here is going to be more of a true weight. All right, so by the looks of things, with the bucket completely up there, it looks like 15.4. I know you guys probably can't see that well, but it's roughly, it's weighing in at 15.4, 15 pounds, 4 ounces. So that's what we're going to go with. All right, everybody. So we got these things weighed in. What we say, 15.4. Got the bins about 3/4 of the way full. This is good organic matter, good compost, some composted manure, all that good stuff, all up in here. And we're gonna end up. I'm saving some space, like I always do. I intend to do, but sometimes I just never get around to it. But I'm saving some space so that I can add another layer as the sprouts start to come up out of the soil. I'm going to add another layer, because what I've learned through experience is that the potato plant will produce potatoes at the surface level also. And if they're not layered, or if they're not mulched, those potatoes are going to get exposed to the sun, turn green, and all that good stuff. So I want to minimize my losses. Okay, if I'm planting this stuff, I want every single potato. And I don't want it, if I do lose some potatoes, I don't want it to be to no fault of my own. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come through first, and I'm gonna add some of this bone meal. I add some bone meal down here. A couple of handfuls of that. Now, from what I've learned, right, we know that we lose the soil, and you end up losing a lot of your nutrients through leaching, right? As you water, it takes the nutrients and it flushes it out of the soil. That's why over time you have to keep adding more compost and organic matter, worm castings and all that stuff to the soil to kind of put back what you're losing through the leaching process. Well, when things leach, from what I've heard, don't quote me on this. This ain't my information. I'm just telling you what somebody else said, right? Is that in terms of how fast each of the big three nutrients, N, P, and K, in terms of which one leaches out the fastest, it's a ratio of 3-1-2, right? So nitrogen is gonna leach out the fastest, then phosphorus, then potassium. Okay, so which means that, and the reason why it's 3-1. So basically, by being 3-1-2, it's telling you that when you fertilize, you should fertilize with those numbers in mind. To say you need more nitrogen. You need the nitrogen should be the highest amount, and then your potassium, and then your phosphorus, in that order. So 3-1-2. Okay, so right here, this bone meal is going to be high in phosphorus, so it's going to leach out the slowest of the three. So I'm going to just mix that in a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some potatoes. Now I think I'm going to go ahead and put these yellows in there, and as you can see, they got nice strong eyes or chicks on them. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. So they got nice strong chicks on them, on all of them. So I'm not going to cut these in half because they're already small potatoes, and I'm not expecting to get any potatoes much larger than this. So I'm going to take my potato and I'm going to plant it chit side up, pointed up. I'm going to plant it back here so that you can see. I don't know if you can see in that corner or not. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this about 4 or 5 inches down. This container right now has about 10 to 12 inches of soil in this container alone. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this down like that, and then just cover it back up. So there's one there. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna leave them. I think I'm gonna leave the holes open so I can see where I'm planting them, so that I'll mess around and dig it up and plant another one. There's one there, and I got big hands, so I'm just using my hand as a measurement of how deep I'm going. There, and I'm gonna put way more. Like I said, this is a pretty large container. I don't even know how big it is. I want to say it's larger than a 27 gallon. I don't think it's 27. I think it's bigger. But these are some pretty large containers. And let me tell y'all about these bins, y'all. Tell y'all about these bins. These are some large bins, as you can see. So what happened was, I was telling Keisha, I'm like, man, I want to grow all the potatoes this year. Shout out to Pepper Rookie, that's my guy. He grew his I think sweet potatoes in containers last year. They came out pretty good, and I was like, man, that's a good idea, because I didn't want to plant sweet potatoes or any potato in the ground and be digging them up for the rest of my life. So I said that's a good idea. I'm gonna go ahead and try that this year. So I was like, I need to find some bins because I didn't want to pay for them, because y'all know the price of bins. So what happened was, I was doing DoorDash one day. Me and Keisha were doing DoorDash, and we delivered to, like, it wasn't I don't know what it was. I ain't even gonna sit here and try to explain to you what it was, because I really don't know. All I know is that it was a place that grew marijuana, right? And before anybody have a fit, understand that it is legal and probably in all states at this point. Okay. So we delivered to this place, and as I'm going, and it's in a compound. So the place is like gated with security and everything, and it's got a whole bunch of buildings inside of this compound. I'm gonna go ahead and throw some earthworm, some worm castings on top, right here. Right, let that leach through. So we see this building, and right by the dumpsters, they have this stack of these containers. And I promise you, it was maybe 100 containers. So I asked the guy, I rung the doorbell after I dropped off the order. I rung the doorbell and I asked the guy, and I was like, hey, can I grab these containers? Like, are you guys throwing them away? Because they were outside like, you know how the dumpster has the brick wall? They were outside the brick wall. And I was like, okay, I'm not sure if they're throwing them away or they're just trying to move them out this way so they can create space for something else. So I knocked on the door. Dude came. I asked him, can I grab some? He said, let me talk to his boss. He talked to his boss. He texted me back like 15 minutes later. I doubled back, made a U-turn, doubled back, and I grabbed as many as the truck could hold, which was 25 of these things. And when we left them, like I said, we took 25, and there were still 2 stacks. We took almost an entire stack. The ones that I left were like, because they were like extremely cracked from what I can see, so I just left those. And I took as many as the truck could hold, like I said, like 25 of them. And they still had 2 or 3 more stacks of these bins right outside. So I got these bins 100% free. All we had to do was clean them out, because they did smell like marijuana when we first got them. And we was hoping we didn't get pulled over. Keisha was getting the contract. And we was, we had the munchies and everything. But no, I'm just joking. We ain't had the munchies. It wasn't that serious. But 25 bins that smell like marijuana, it's throwing off a pretty solid scent. So, am I recording? I hope I'm recording all this yapping I'm doing. Okay. So we grabbed them, we took them home, cleaned them out, and then now here we are. So we have 25 of these things that we're going to use. Well, we have I took 25, but it looks like when I got home and I looked at some more of them, some of them were a little bit more damaged than I thought they were. So I'm not going to be able to grow in them. So that's about maybe 5 of them. So we still have 20 of these joints for free, y'all. I'm like, do you know how happy I was? I ain't got to pay. How much would I have to spend to get 25 of these things? Like crazy. But I'm grateful for it. We got them, and here we are. Right? And we're growing potatoes in the middle. All right. So back to the potatoes. Okay. So y'all can see I dug down about 4 or 5 inches, put the potatoes in. I'm gonna throw another handful of worm castings on top. And hopefully this year will be my last year buying worm castings, because I am starting my worm farm this year. We're gonna get some worms and start doing our own thing with as far as the worms are concerned. This is a team effort. We got worms.
You got one.
I'll take that. I'll take it. I sure will. So we dug down, covered them. Now in a few weeks, we should start to see the growth coming up out of the soil and everything. And we're like I said, we're gonna, every step along the way, if I can remember. Sometimes, we get busy, you come out to the garden and you just start working and you forget to cut on the camera, or you don't have time because you got so much to get done. If I remember, I'm going to try to make sure that I document everything that we're doing to the potatoes along the way, so that if this is your first time growing potatoes, or maybe you struggled with potatoes before, maybe showing you what we do can help you out a little bit. All right?
All right, guys. So I found success the way we did it the first time. If you guys can go back to see our first potato harvest video, this is what I did to get success on that video, and I thought it was pretty good. What we got here? I like russet potatoes. I like russet. Russet. Do you have more in the house?
Russet.
Okay, so
bust it with the russet.
So what I did was I dug a trench and I just planted more than one in the trench.
Well, that's not close.
Listen, it's gonna be all right. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be all right.
So as you can see, we have two different
Right, you know, he says he says potato, I say potato.
Yeah. You say tomato, I say tomato. So
y'all, I feel like we won with that potato harvest. So why? You know what I'm saying? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
all right, guys. So that's it, y'all. You know, we got the potatoes. Got the potatoes planted. Showed y'all my way of doing it. Showed y'all Keisha's way of doing it. I don't necessarily think there's too much of a right or a wrong way of doing it.
There's a right and a wrong way to plant potatoes.
So we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, y'all, and we'll see y'all in the next video. Appreciate y'all. Peace out. Deuce.